Hello savvy shoppers, welcome to our channel. Today we're going to delve deep into the world of buying used cars. There's a lot to consider when making such a purchase. The make, the model, the mileage, and of course, where to buy it from. We've got two main contenders, the well-established dealerships and the often overlooked private sellers. Each has its pros and cons, and knowing them could be the difference between a sweet ride and a lemon. So strap in, as we navigate the twists and turns of the used car market. If you are enjoying this content, and you do not want to miss future videos filled with even more tips, tricks, and inspiration, hit that subscribe button now to stay tuned with us and remember to comment and share. Let's start off by exploring the advantages of buying from a dealer. Firstly, dealers often provide warranties, which can be a godsend when you're buying used. Imagine this, you've just bought a shiny used car, and 2 weeks in, the engine starts acting like a rebellious teenager. If you've bought from a dealer with a warranty, you can just roll right back to them and say, hey, you sold me this, now fix it. Now isn't that a sigh of relief? Next, let's talk about variety. Dealerships are like the buffet of the car world. You can find a little bit of everything from compact city cars to massive trucks and everything in between. You can test drive as many as you'd like, compare models, and really get a feel for what works best for you. It's like a car shopping spree without the guilty spending. Then there are financing options. Many dealerships offer their own financing, which means you could potentially drive off the lot with a new-to-you car without paying the full price up front. That's like saying, I'll take this car now and pay for it later. Just remember, with great power comes great interest rates, so make sure you read the fine print. Lastly, let's not forget about trade-ins. Got an old car that's just taking up space in your driveway? Dealerships often offer trade-in programs where you can swap your old ride for a credit towards your new one. It's like trading in your old clothes for store credit, but with a lot more horsepower involved. In summary, buying from a dealer means you get warranties, a smorgasbord of choices, financing options, and the chance to trade in your old car. It's like a one-stop shop for all your car buying needs. So, dealers seem to offer a safer bet, right? But wait, there's more to the story. Now, let's shift gears and look at some of the downsides of buying from a dealer. First off, let's address the elephant in the room, the prices. You see, dealerships have overhead costs to cover, and these costs often trickle down to the buyer, making the purchase price of a used car from a dealer higher than what you might find with a private seller. So, if you're looking to save some cash, this could be a bit of a speed bump. Next up, we've got the aggressive sales tactics. You know the ones I'm talking about. The fast talk, the pressure to buy now, the this deal won't last pitch. It can feel a bit like being in a high-speed chase, and not everyone enjoys that kind of ride. It's important to remember that you're in the driver's seat. Don't let a pushy salesperson steer you in a direction you're not comfortable with. Speaking of uncomfortable, let's talk about hidden fees. Dealerships are notorious for tacking on extra costs that can make your jaw drop faster than a sports car goes from 0 to 60. Delivery charges, dealership fees, processing fees, oh my, it can feel like you're being nickel and dimed. And while some of these fees are legitimate, others can be negotiated or even eliminated. But you've got to have your wits about you and be prepared to haggle. And finally, while dealerships do offer warranties, they're not always as comprehensive as you might hope. Sure, they'll cover a faulty transmission or a busted engine, but what about the little things that can really add up, like a broken air conditioner or a faulty power window? It's important to read the fine print and know exactly what you're getting into. Seems like there's a bit of a rough ride with dealers. But what about private sellers? Now, let's cruise into the realm of private sellers. Buying a car from a private seller can be like finding a hidden treasure. These individuals often offer lower prices than dealerships. You see, private sellers typically want to swiftly conclude the sale, avoiding the overhead costs and sales targets that dealerships have to deal with. In other words, you might just stumble upon a diamond in the rough, a high-quality car, at a fraction of the dealership price. But that's not all. With private sellers, you're entering a realm of negotiation that's as open as a summer highway. There's room to haggle, to discuss, to negotiate. You're not bound by the rigid price structures of a dealership. It's just you and the seller, two parties seeking a fair deal. If you've got the gift of the gab, or maybe even if you don't, this can be a real game changer. Now let's talk about the car's history. When you're dealing with a private seller, there's a good chance you're talking to the car's previous owner. They can provide a detailed history of the car, from the time it struggled up a mountain pass to the day it glided smoothly along the coastline. They can tell you about that time they replaced the battery, or the reason behind that tiny scratch on the bumper. You're getting a car with a story, not just a vehicle. But remember, every coin has two sides. While there are undoubtedly some great advantages to buying from a private seller, it's not always a joyride. Like any other purchasing decision, it's essential to do your homework and know what you're getting into. Private sellers seem to offer a smooth ride, but are there any bumps on the road? That's what we're going to uncover in our next segment. So stay tuned as we navigate the potential pitfalls of buying from a private seller. Let's hit the brakes and look at the potential pitfalls of buying from private sellers. First up, the lack of warranty. Unlike dealerships, private sellers aren't obligated to offer any warranty on the car. Once you've handed over the cash and got the keys, any issues that arise are yours to handle. And let's face it, breakdowns and repairs are about as welcome as a skunk at a garden party. Now, on to scams. Unfortunately, the world of private car sales can sometimes feel like a minefield of trickery. Odometer rollback, where the seller decreases the mileage of the car to increase its value, is one common scam. And then there's the old car in the barn trick, where a seller claims to have a rare or classic car in mint condition stashed away. But when you arrive, all you find is a rust bucket and a seller who's conveniently disappeared. And let's not forget the need for extensive car knowledge. When you're buying from a private seller, it's like being a contestant on a game show where the prize is a good car, and the penalty for a wrong answer is a money pit on wheels. You need to know your stuff. That includes everything from the car's make and model history to how to spot potential issues like oil leaks or worn brake pads. And if you're not an automobile aficionado, you might find yourself in deeper water than a submarine with a screen door. Of course, you can always bring along a mechanic or knowledgeable friend, but that's an extra step and potentially an extra cost that you wouldn't have to worry about at a dealership. And finally, there's the paperwork. Buying from a private seller often involves more red tape than a bureaucratic birthday party. You'll need to handle everything from title transfer to registration and licensing on your own. So it seems both dealers and private sellers have their own routes, with unique speed bumps and clearways. So there you have it, folks, the pros and cons of buying a used car from dealers versus private sellers. It's been quite a journey, hasn't it? We've sped through the smooth highways of dealer benefits, complete with warranties and a wide selection. We've also navigated the potholes of dealer drawbacks like higher prices and pushy sales tactics. We then took a detour off the beaten path to explore the scenic route of private sellers. We enjoyed the views of lower prices and potential for negotiation, but we also braved the bumpy roads of hidden mechanical issues and the lack of warranties. In the end, the choice between a dealer and a private seller is as unique as the car you're looking to buy. It's a decision that should be driven by your personal circumstances, preferences, and comfort level. And remember, whether you're cruising down the dealership lane or taking the private seller off-ramp, always do your homework and inspect the car thoroughly. So, are you ready to get behind the wheel of your next used car? We hope this video has fueled your knowledge tank and prepared you for the journey ahead. Thanks for joining us on this ride. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the like button. Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below and share this video with your fellow savvy shoppers. Until next time, drive safely and shop smartly.